This podcast is brought to you by WorthItLifestyle.com, shipping worldwide healthy sweeteners and products for the paleo lifestyle. Go check out their new Build Your Own Protein Powder at WorthItLifestyle.com. Welcome to the Startup Cabin Podcast. We share great stories from European startups. I'm Steve Ferris.
And I'm Rhodin.
And today is really exciting for us because who do we have here with us?
We have the three founders of Codarica. So we have Sanna Nilsson, who is the CEO of Codarica. Then we have Lovisa, levin, who is the CMO. And then Rosalyn, Knapp, who is the technological strategist.
And it was really exciting for me because I'm a father of three, and I've started to try to teach my kids some stuff about coding, and this is exactly what Codarica is doing. They are teaching kids how to code. So we're going to talk about them and learn about more what they're doing. We hope you enjoy it.
Well, welcome to Startup Cabin. You're in LA right now, right?
That's correct.
Yeah, it's not as warm as you think it might be, but we're enjoying it.
Okay, so why are you in LA?
We are located in Glendale, so we are actually attending this Disney Accelerator program, and we're next to the Disney Creative Campus in Glendale.
Now, we want to know, what is the Disney Accelerator? And what are you doing over there?
Oh, it's top secret. No, it's an amazing initiative. Disney has partnered with Techstars to enable 11 companies to meet over 150 mentors over the space of a month, ranking high execs everywhere from ABC to ESPN, just everyone in the Disney network and beyond. And then after that, it leads on more into like venture capital guidance and stuff like that. So it's a really fun program.
Sounds like a dream.
The American dream.
The most like caffeinated, high-powered dream I've ever been on.
Is it all educational kind of startups, or is it entertainment and stuff like that too?
Yeah, so it's actually kind of different companies. So we have most of the company being kids focused in some way. So there's some connected toys, some smart toys. There's some more content for kids as well in terms of books. It's also some companies that are not really related to kids and working more with content marketing. So there are different companies with different kind of angles, but I think that it all ties into what Disney is doing over their different companies somehow.
Okay.
What's the biggest difference you found from working in Europe and working over in the States?
I think that
a lot of things.
Yeah, it's a lot of things, but just like the first week we got here, we had to pitch in front of everyone, and we did our very data-heavy pitch that we've done back in Europe, and they just hated it. They were like, where's the emotion? You're teaching kids how to code. If you're telling me like my 6-year-old can code and like why my 6-year-old can code, like that's what gets me excited. So we kind of had to change mentality from like numbers, stats, and very like why we're doing this to more the soft side of our business.
Yeah, and also one thing I've noticed is I think the pace is kind of limitless here. That everyone here is going at 100 miles per hour for like 24 hours a day, as opposed to a very regular like 9 to 5. There's no such thing as 9 to 5 that I've seen so far.
Yeah, some people even sleep at the office.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
No, I've lived in Sweden for 2 years, so I'm really enjoying the change of pace over here. So now you get to see, yeah, all right, it is. Yeah.
So you said at Sub 46 when you were here in Stockholm, and I mean that's full of startups. Wasn't it the same there? With people working 24/7, or do you think that even the startups here in Stockholm kind of work 9 to 5?
No, I think it's just a matter of different kind of work ethics. I think that Swedes in general are pretty time efficient. Like we know that we don't want to spend 24 hours working on our company when we can spend 10 hours like really, really working hard and then have some time off, because we're kind of self-aware, I would say, like the companies back home, to the fact that we need time to recharge in order to work that hard and to bring the company and moving it forward. Whilst here, it's you know, it feels like it's a must to work until midnight. So
yeah, at the same time, I mean, this is a high intensive program during 4 months, and I think you're able to work that hard for 4 months, but not more. So it's that's why as well. Like everyone's working so hard.
Yeah, it's very specific to accelerator kind of mentality. I mean, exactly. I mean, that's the way it is in accelerators in Sweden too. So
yeah, exactly.
Well, you said that they didn't like all the data that you had in your pitch in the States, but actually, can we talk a little bit about that now? You're talking we can teach our kids how to code. That's really exciting. Can you tell us a little bit about what's exciting you the most about the numbers that you're seeing or the trends that you're seeing that are encouraging you to keep going where you're going?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of, I don't think that there's much data that needs to be said in terms of like, this is a buzzing term, like the whole thing about getting coding into the hands of kids. But it's still very new, which means that it hasn't necessarily been done a lot of research when it comes to elementary schools, for instance. So we know that in the US, there's only like 0.7% of all high school students enrolled in computer science. But we have no data on how many students are enrolled in different tech-related subjects in elementary schools. And I would say that it's probably pretty low. So what we've seen here, being in the US, is that charter schools are the most progressive schools here. And they're trying to introduce it, and I think that's really, really good that it's getting into schools. But it's still a resistance, and it's still, you know, not enough material out there for teachers to be engaged in programming as well. So what we've spoken to several teachers and parents, and it's just not seamless enough. It's more that the teachers or the parents have to be taught themselves in order to be able to teach the kids. And since this is like a generation shift, we have to make sure that we are giving material and tools to kids that are engaging and fun, and to parents for them to understand like what is going on.
So Codarica actually teaches the parents as well to teach their kids to code. Is that right?
Yes and no.
Yes and no. I think it's a very relatable journey that our protagonists go on. And the reason why we teach these storytelling is just because it crosses so many gaps and bridges the understanding between so many generations that it's such an adaptive method of teaching. So yeah, I think parents could learn from it, definitely.
Yeah, it's not geared towards the parents, but since it's so easily digested, it's something that parents will understand easily as well.
So can kids use it themselves, or do they use it together with grown-ups? Is it made both for like teachers and kids, or is it the kids themselves that do it?
The kids themselves can do it. But at the same time, they could do it together with the parents, absolutely. But we've designed it so that kids can play it with it alone.
Yeah, absolutely. We want them to explore and feel comfortable with the code themselves. And often, I think parents or adults may have certain biases towards code, or the subject around it. So children being able to interact with it hands-on totally like demolishes those biases, or because they haven't really existed yet.
Yeah, and also it's a good feeling for kids to feel like they are empowered by learning themselves and not being watched over the shoulder by an adult, even if it's a teacher or a parent. And that's what we want to give them. We want to give them the skill sets that they feel like they can use themselves. They have the creations in their own hands.
And keeping that kind of exploring feeling.
Yes. Yeah, and they like to be in charge.
Yeah.
Can you explain a little bit about what your product actually is for people who don't know what you're making?
Yeah, of course. So at Codarica, we enable children to be the storytellers of the future by teaching them how to code. And we do that through engaging products and retaining game mechanics, as well as characters that kids will love. So we have an ebook at the market right now that will introduce kids to the world of internet and HTML. But our big product is coming out this fall, and it will be an app that hands-on teaches children how to make their first websites with HTML and CSS.
And that's the first product of many in line.
Yeah.
We're planning to cover all different kind of programming languages in our future product as well.
Wow. Now, tell us a little bit about what were some of the struggles you had starting this up? I mean, it is a relatively new market, and what were some struggles you had going into this?
Well, I think that the struggle is not having anything to benchmark with. So usually if you say, for instance, language learning, there's so many research studies and so many data backing what is the best methodologies to teach out a language, for instance. But when it comes to programming, it's something that's so new that there's not really like a golden road to take, which means that we had to do everything from ground zero. We talked with teachers, we spoke with researchers, industry leaders, and parents to kind of gather different thoughts and different opinions on what they wanted our app to be like. So it's very much based on what the market wanted rather than us having assumptions of what we thought would be the best way.
How did you start all this?
Yeah, I mean, we founded the company in December actually, but it all started as a school project in Hyper Island where we all met. We were studying a digital data strategist program, and as our last project in school, we really wanted to do something that we were passionate about. And during that year, we went to Hyper. We learned a lot of programming, and we just realized that it's such a bummer that we haven't learned this before, since it's such a valuable skill and everyone should know it. And I mean, it's a huge demand for computer science people. I mean, it's just a fact. So we had 3 weeks, and we basically produced the ebook that we were missing when we were younger. And we never really thought that we were gonna plan to start a company out of it, but we got some really great media exposure, and we realized that there's a huge demand for something like this, and on that road.
Yeah, I think that us being women kind of made the process a little bit longer for starting a company because we wanted it to be super validated.
Yeah.
So first when we had the ebook out, we got the validation from the market in itself with all the press and all the great feedback from customers. And then we went on internships during the fall, which was a part of the program. And at the same time we were at our internships, we just applied to as many startup competitions that we could find, and just tried to see if we actually had a scalable business model as well to go along with this market demand. And yeah, we did, because we got great feedback and won some of the competitions as well. And then was when we kind of decided 100% like, yes, we should start the company.
I remember that. I went to Hyper too, and I also work a bit with Hyper now and then. But I remember when the first ones came out, like the media exposure, the first you got, because I remember that even my class talked about coding for kids. But nobody really did anything about it, and it was kind of like, oh, finally someone from Hyper finally did this project that needs to be done. Because there's been kind of like a lot of kind of initiatives for people in the industry who think it's a good idea, but nothing concrete for the kids. Just, other grown-ups talking to other grown-ups about this is a good idea for the kids. I think it's just a really interesting how you managed to get it together so well. But you didn't have coding skills from the start, right? You learned at the end of Hyper or during Hyper?
Yeah, throughout Hyper. We did everything from Python to R. It was more data-focused programming, but it was programming. But I think that's why we have managed to do something a little bit different as well with our programming products. So like when you're saying, so it's more adults talking to adults and thinking like, oh, this is something that we should bring into the kids' life. It's also a lot of industry people that have been, programmers for 20, 30 years.
Exactly.
And I mean, I think that's great. And I mean, we need those people to advise us on how to bring out our products as well. But we have taken another kind of route. We've been sitting with kids and thinking about like, so how is the learning experience for somebody that doesn't know any line of code? And we were kind of close to that stage as well, because it wasn't that long ago we started programming ourselves. So for us, it was different. And I think we would have been able to do these kind of products if we were having our developer goggles on.
Yeah.
I think we would have been thinking in more logical terms and not being able to apply storytelling.
Yeah, and I would say there are certain scenarios which served as a catalyst for us to realize the need of programming as well. Apparently the golden formula for every startup by Forbes is like a hipster, a hacker, and a hustler. So I think hustling comes quite naturally to people. Hipster, I don't know, I guess people are naturally creative. But with the hacking part, I mean, it's really like gold dust sometimes. And everyone has the ability to create, but not everyone has the opportunity to learn how to be a hacker or learn how to do that. So I think that's one thing we wanted to enable children to do at a younger age so they could create themselves.
And it's interesting because Code Academy, that was from the beginning one of the Y Combinator companies, the founders there, and I mean they're the most successful one for grown-ups, they didn't know how to code either. And they did a product that was simple enough so you actually wanted to use it. And the whole program that they had with them, the rest of them were all coders. And I don't think they would be able to do that product because, as you said, you talk to the kids and the actual end user instead of, having the I've done this for 20 years kind of attitude, because you don't really remember what you did 20 years ago. It's so different when you're, become a professional in something. I think you forget the simplicity of what you need to have when you start something, that you actually have to have like small steps that makes it fun to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I agree. And a lot of the developers that we've spoken to now who are more senior in their career, they started coding when they were 6. Or, they've taken apart computers and rebuilt them, or they've imagined 3D models of trees that they've seen in their backyards, And I don't know if that's your average child. So we really wanted to cater to children everywhere, not just the special ones or the child geniuses.
Yeah, and
often you see when they have done research on kids that are kind of natural or whatever you want to call it into technology, and it actually they've seen that at least one parent works in a technical field. So I mean, if we keep it that way, we're not going to get that spread of coding that we actually need for the future.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's also like adapting also to the change of education, because education today is becoming more and more disruptive. And I think we're changing a little bit our views upon education as well. You don't necessarily have to have a bachelor's degree or a master's degree to do certain stuff. And I think that programming is one of those things where you don't really have to study for it. It's more in the hands of yourself, and like the sky is the limit, or not even that. I don't know if anything is the limit with coding, and that's the beauty of it, because it's it's in your own imagination. If you can imagine it, you can build it.
What are you doing in the accelerator? What are you learning right now?
Oh, what aren't we learning right now? I think if you get your average topics that you need to know about for a startup, so it's sort of setting up a company, legal aspects, or financial, like spreadsheets galore, analytics. If you take just 101, I think we're on level 1000 right now. I mean, the analytics that we're learning about and just the common practices that you need in order to go big, we're really learning them at breakneck speed.
Yeah, I mean, we're in execution mode as well because we're so into our developing our app, and the best thing about being here is that we on one side we have the support network. So whenever we find ourselves like, oh, like, can we develop this, or like how can we contact this person, we have people to bounce that with. But on the other hand, they're also always questioning our decisions and what we're doing, which means that we're pushing ourselves to actually execute even harder, even faster, even better.
And we're really learning from the best at Disney. I mean, we have what's unique about us is that we use a lot of storytelling in our products, and who isn't that good at that as Disney? And after meeting over 100 mentors, we actually have chosen 5 lead mentors, and it's all within like marketing, business, financial, and more technical game artists, like the best. So we are in such a good place, and we're learning a lot.
Yeah, so it's right now it's like heavy production, heads down, working. I'm working alongside the best right now.
What do you want to do when the accelerator is done? I mean, I guess you're going to end up with a demo day at the end, right?
Yes.
Demo day in the middle of October, and we have our tickets back to Stockholm in the end of October. And so we're switching from Techstars and Disney Accelerator to going back to Sweden in end of October to participate full time in the Bonnier Accelerator.
Oh,
Yeah,
from one to another.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to learn from the best.
Yeah.
So you were talking about your big project is this app that children can create their own websites with HTML and CSS.
Yeah.
Now, when can we expect that maybe?
Oh, well, we're aiming to sort of show it to the world around Demo Day here at Techstars.
Okay, great.
14th of October.
Yeah, no later than
yeah.
I mean, I think that we are a little bit perfectionist, and what our mentors here, they are very lean and mean. So they're like, ship the product, just ship, and we're like, no, it's not ready yet. Because it's our baby, and it's really, really hard, and we want it to be perfect. But we have realized now it's never going to be perfect in our eyes, and it's always going to be features that can be better, and it's always going to be stuff that we want to change and iterate. So we just have to understand that this is our first version, and I don't think that anybody's first versions are the perfect version. It shouldn't be like that anyways.
But we are super excited. I think the day that Apple approves it will be like one of the best days of my life. So,
and the scariest, probably.
And the scariest.
And
like
the scariest.
The moment I will stay up all night waiting for an email from Apple.
Now,
the scary and the best, they usually go kind of right together when it comes to startups or business in general. I was thinking, could you just one at a time, just tell us what was the biggest surprise starting a business that you didn't know before starting a business that would be so hard or so different? Rosalyn is laughing.
I know, it's literally everything. Maybe one of you should go first. I've got 10 things.
No, go for it.
I think one thing that I didn't realize would take so much time, or that would be so major to deal with, is the paperwork, actually.
Paperwork as in?
paperwork as in, I mean, luckily I don't have to deal with tax over in Sweden, but it's tax, it's incorporation, it's registration, employee registration, it's like legal issues, legal fees, stock options. I mean, I could like literally put you to sleep with the amount of documentation that you have to do. So I think that's kind of a hurdle that a lot of startups probably won't see coming their way. But
yeah, I deal with those clients, so I know. They have no idea. I deal with those clients all the time in my business, so I know they have no idea before, most of them. So
yeah, but it's a good learning curve. Like, it's a steep one, but once you've done it, you definitely feel like you can do anything.
Yeah, it's a hard one. I mean, I think everything is not what I expected, and I think being in a small startup. No, okay, I have to take that over. We have an internal joke.
Yeah, Lovisa once, when she was trying to say small startup, she said smart up.
Small smart up, and I really need to think when I say it. It's like I really concentrated when I said it this time.
But I think it's a good name. I think we should coin it like a smart up. I mean, that's definitely a better name for it.
Yeah. Okay, I'll take it over. Yeah. So there are many things in running a company, startup a company, that I didn't expect. I mean, just that you need to know all aspects of your company, and you learn so much. But I mean, at the same time, sometimes I have no clue what I'm doing, and it's just like learning, and it's exciting but really scary at the same time.
Yeah, I totally agree with that as well. It's definitely like the best journey of if you really like learning stuff, like start a company. It's like being reborn, and it's true. But the thing about also being in the startup scene is it's very, very like it can't be described. It's such a it's a world of its own, like with the people, the stereotypes, and the lingo. I mean, like you go around like and you talk about the cloud. Yeah, it's like everything from like the technical aspects to like all the startup kind of things. Like you talk on a daily basis about like how you will pivot, or it's just very different. And we just recently started watching the Silicon Valley show, and it's so funny because like the smallest stuff you relate to, and we just like laugh our ass off because it's just exactly how it is. It's exactly how it is.
Especially setting up an incorporated here in the States, like it is just painfully accurate of real life and all the things.
Yeah, all the legals that we have to bounce everything with, but also the different parts of being in a startup here in the US is that everything is magnified by like 1,000. Yeah. So we were at the dinner, and we've been to a lot of startup events in Stockholm, and they're great, and the people are great, but here you come to a dinner and it's a virtual reality dinner.
What?
Yeah, and we're at this mingle event with these people who one was the founder of MySpace, and one was the very first employees at Facebook, and you
one
go
of them
around
lived with the co-founder of Napster.
Yeah, exactly. There's best friend, and you go around in this mingle and just like are baffled about these people, and at the same time you're at an Enya concert listening to Enya music. So it's just very different in terms of like the internal scene, the startup scene here. It's very techy. It's very internal.
Yeah, it is. I think one thing I've learned the most out of like starting up a company is that you really think it's a lot about people's skills and a lot about what they can bring to the table that way. But the longer that I'm in it, it just all boils down to personality. Like I
agree.
It builds the trust in the team. You know how far the other person's going to push themselves and push yourself, and then the sky's the limit if it's based on the personality of the person and not necessarily like their quote unquote hard skills. Because you can always learn hard skills, but you can't learn good character.
Yeah, I think that's one of the biggest learning experience from having an own company. It's more the fact that like you can learn whatever you set your mind to learn, but you don't know anything like coming into a company. Like you can't have a business degree and still not do the same learning experience. Like you have to actually do it. You have to get down and dirty, and it's a lot of work. But it's just something that you can't learn yourself through books or through watching lectures. It's just Silicon no, or Silicon Valley. You can learn the lingo in the TV show.
Can you share with us a favorite quote, something that inspires you, something that kind of you use, you remember often?
So what we say on a daily basis for us, it's just wing it.
Just wing. Oh.
Swing it. Swing.
Just swing it. Yeah, that's definitely one. And I also think one thing that's probably more true of is like stay hungry, stay fighting.
That's good.
Yeah, make it until you fake it. Make it until you break it. I was supposed to say. That's true also as well. But fake it until you make it. That's definitely true here as well.
So tell us, 3 years down the road, big picture, the dream, 3 years down the road, where do you want to see Codarica?
Everywhere. No, I think Codarica at the moment has the potential to be in every home, every school, and every institution out there teaching young children how to code, whether it's used in charitable endeavors or whether it's used in government programs. It is such a versatile product or range of products that I really see it going to every single corner of the world, helping children everywhere learn how to code.
Thank you, Codarica, so much for coming, or well, you're over there and you're over here, but talking to us. It's been a treat.
Thanks. It was
Thanks
fun.
for having us.
Looking forward to the app release. We're really excited about it.
Yeah, us too.
We'll let you know.
Yeah.
We'll let you know.
Be nice though when you download it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the best review ever. I'll let my 8-year-old boy review it.
Oh yes, please.
Definitely. That'd be fun.
All right, thank you.
This was Lovisa Levin, Rosalyn, Knapp, and Sanna Nilsson from Codarica.
If you want to join the conversation about teaching children to code, join us over at startupcabin.com/Codarica. That's Codarica. There you can also find the notes and transcription for this episode.
If you have some business insights you want to share with the startup community, you can become one of our guest bloggers. Go to startupcabin.com/blog.